So after pipetting for a few months, your pipette needs to be calibrated. You send it away, you get it back a few days later. You never really think twice about it. But do you know what that really means? Where your pipette goes? What happens to it? Probably not. So today we're going to go behind the scenes of a real calibration lab and go over the process from start to finish. So when you send your pipette in for calibration, it ends up in a cal lab, like here at Vista Lab. Behind the scenes here at Vista Lab in Brewster, New York, where we actually have our own calibration facility. Now you send your pipette away and it ends up in a cal lab. So the very first thing we have to do is decontaminate it. So we place it into a numbered rack, like the one here, and bring it into our special decon room. So we're now inside the decon room, and the first thing we have to do is spray down all the pipettes with a 70% alcohol solution. Once they're sprayed down, they then sit for 15 minutes. After the decontamination phase is complete, your pipette is ready to be calibrated. So now we're inside the cal room, and walking in, you instantly feel a change in the air around you. That's because it's a very controlled environment. We abide by all ISO 9001 standards, and both temperature and humidity are kept at a constant. The pipette then ends up in the hands of one of our cal technicians. The technician aspirates and dispenses 4 shots of water into a flask on a 5-place scale. The mass of each shot is recorded by our calibration software. This software then uses these values to calculate the accuracy and precision of the pipette. If the pipette is found to dispense either too much or too little liquid, it must be calibrated so that it dispenses within the manufacturer's specs. Different brand pipettes have different methods to make these adjustments. For our MLA brand pipettes, an Allen key is inserted into the pipette plunger button. Turning the key clockwise increases the volume. Turning the key counterclockwise decreases the volume. Once the adjustments have been made, a new round of 4 shots are aspirated and dispensed to confirm that the pipette has been calibrated correctly. Once the pipette is confirmed to be in calibration, the technician prints out an official calibration certificate. Now that your pipette has been calibrated and approved by one of our technicians, it's ready to be sent back to you and used in your own lab. And the pipette goes back to the rightful owner. You have now been behind the scenes of our calibration process. I brought you to our facility, brought you to our decon room, our cal room. You've seen our technicians in action, and you learned the story of calibration. I want to thank you for joining us, and see you next time.